I came down to Atlanta to blog the Stop Cop City Week of Action, and with the second day I was there, I was arrested by the police and charged with domestic terrorism and not given a bond and entered into DeKalb County Jail.
This person and 60 other people have all been charged as part of a sweeping racketeering-influenced and corrupt organization conspiracy as part of a crackdown of a multi-year protest movement against a proposed police training center outside of Atlanta, Georgia, known by most as Cop City. In 2021, after months of pushback against the facility, the Atlanta City Council voted to approve the controversial Cop City. Since then, thousands have participated in an ever-growing protest movement against the facility. Dozens have been arrested, and in January 2023, police shot and killed Manuel Paez Terán, an activist known as Tortuguita. Originally promised to cost taxpayers $30 million, the Atlanta Community Press Collective's reporting revealed the true cost of the training center to be more than double, at $67 million. Those opposed to the facility have been called outside agitators, eco-terrorists, and Twitter activists. Our goal is to hear, in their own words, from some of the 61 people who face up to 20 years in prison if convicted under the Georgia racketeering statute.
My hero of the week is Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr. He filed RICO charges this week against some real insurrectionists.
We put this project together, it has gone through the democratic process, and now here we have a group that is largely now coming from out of state that disagrees with it.
Domestic terrorists, anarchists, whatever you want to call them, a lot of out-of-state people that, really shouldn't have a dog in this fight or come into our city.
Criminals are hiding in the middle of peaceful protests.
We continue to see a number of individuals not from Atlanta, Georgia, that are present tonight undertaking criminal activities to destabilize the construction of a fire and police training center.
The words you just heard from Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr, Mayor Andre Dickens, and Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum describe this person. Priscilla Grimm is a mother from Brooklyn, New York. The state of Georgia, however, says she's a domestic terrorist and a racketeur. Today, I'm in New York to hear from Priscilla, in her own words, who she is. All set?
All set. That was a pretty easy
What did you need to do at Chase?
Oh, so I dropped my rent off. I deposit it directly into my landlord's account because my Chase account was closed by Chase. After my arrest, I got a letter this spring saying that we're going to close you down by June.
Did anything else happen because of the initial domestic terrorism charges?
So I lost my job, I lost my Airbnb account, I lost Chase. They had hired me on March 4th, gave me the job offer, I accepted. They said, here's your background check stuff. And I said, oh, I can do that on Monday. And by Monday, I was in jail, so that was over.
On March 5th, Georgia State Patrol and other agencies raided a music festival around a mile away from the proposed construction site of Cop City.
Hey, cameraman, time to go.
Earlier that day, a group of demonstrators entered the construction site, torching equipment and causing millions of dollars of damage. At the music festival, police detained Priscilla and over 40 others, separating them into two categories by residency. Police arrested Priscilla and 22 others, mostly from out of state, letting the others go free.
They separated out. They were like, okay, are you from Georgia? So everybody from Georgia went into one side of the parking lot. If you were from out of town, go to this side of the parking lot. And then they were like, you guys are in the go to jail crowd. You guys get to go free.
Why do you think they did that?
To make people scared in the future to go down to Atlanta. So, I mean, it was a really scary thing to go down there. I mean, I didn't sleep the whole week before I went down there.
You felt something
I felt
bad?
something bad was going to happen.
But
I mean,
you went anyway.
Yeah, I went anyway. Of course I went anyway. Like, this is really important. And, like, you know, once these cop cities start springing up in Atlanta and all these other places, like, we're headed for something really dystopian and bad and dangerous towards society. And I don't want to live in that kind of society. I want to live in a society filled with care and softness and possibility. You want to see my jail bag of trauma?
I want to hear about your jail bag of trauma.
So this is my jail bag of trauma.
The jail bag of trauma. Are you hanging on to this for anything in particular?
Because it's trauma. Oh, this is my really bad toothbrush that I had.
Did you get one toothbrush for?
So you would get one toothbrush and you would get a toothpaste, but you would have. I bought toothbrushes every single week I was in there because they would come apart.
What are these?
These are receipts for the books that came into me. As you can see, I don't know who sent me books. So I wanted to send thank you cards to everyone, and I didn't even have that kind of information.
There are. There are a lot of these.
Yeah.
So
people
a lot
love
of people.
Me. I have friends. They sent me books. They sent me lots of books.
When you were in jail, what was your experience?
I left home very young when I was like 17, and that was really hard because I didn't have a lot of resources or control because of it, and it really kind of returned me to that spot a lot while I was in there. You know, most of the people I was in there with, they just didn't have homes. And so they were there for like trespassing, whatever that is when you don't have a home to go to, right? I keep saying to people it wasn't that bad for me personally because I did have a lot of support, but it was horrible. I was in there for 31 days without a charge, without a probable cause hearing, wasn't indicted, no arraignment, like nothing. And I met so many other people in there who were like that. My last cellmate actually had crowdsourced. So as people are leaving jail, if you have extra things from commissary, you give it to like whoever in the pod is going to redistribute it. It's kind of like jail mutual aid.
The indictment alleges the criminal enterprise began May 25th, 2020, the day Minneapolis police officers killed George Floyd. Some of the acts alleged in the indictment include a reimbursement for $11.91 for glue, signing a name as ACAB, or filming the police. The indictment also heavily references mutual aid. The idea, in Chris Carr's words, that each individual will work together and voluntarily contribute their own resources to ensure that each individual has its own needs met.
So she actually gave me my jail glasses, which I have here too, because I didn't have my prescription. My cellmate was like one of the longest residents in the pod cage.
How?
She had been there for almost 18 months without a charge.
She was there for 18 months without a charge?
Without a charge. In pre-trial because she didn't have money for bond.
So she was just held in DeKalb County sort of indeterminately?
Yeah.
Did she have hope of getting out? Did she
Well, we got her out. Like, we raised and got her bond paid.
Her out.
Well, I mean, one of the forest defenders took care of her bond and got her out.
That's incredible. In the indictment, it talks about mutual aid.
Yeah.
How does it feel that you were doing mutual aid in jail and that's criminalized?
I tell my daughter all the time that there are no strangers in this world, just friends you haven't met yet. So that's how I went into jail.
Is that why you were doing mutual aid in jail?
Yeah. We were in this very small environment with people who had real needs. And as a human, like, how can you be in this environment and you have things that you can help others with and you're keeping it to yourself? Like, I'm just not wired that way. I can't do that, like, ever. Like, I'm not that person. This is my favorite park.
This is your favorite park?
This is my favorite park in the city, yeah. The institution of policing doesn't work for anybody, including people who are police.
That's another part of this picture, though, is they're saying you hate police in particular, the people.
This is a good spot. You want to go over here?
Yeah.
I hate what policing does. I hate how policing terrorizes neighborhoods. I mean, you know, myself and no one that I've been associated with have accidentally murdered anybody. However, police from New York to Atlanta to Los Angeles to Texas, whatever, they accidentally murder people all the time with the best training ever.
Was Tortuguita part of what drove you to Atlanta?
Absolutely. Like, I saw the first picture of Tortuguita and the knowledge of them being murdered by the police in a hail of bullets, it just doesn't make sense. No, 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 no. Why? That makes no sense. Just looking at Tortuguita, reading the interviews that Tortuguita gave, like, it doesn't make sense, except for the fact that they wanted to murder someone and scare everyone into not supporting the people of Atlanta. And it was naked, and that was what they were trying to do.
Do you think that that's what they're doing with these charges?
That's what they're trying. They're not going to win.
They're not going to win?
No.
Have they won with you?
No. Fuck that. Like, I mean, if I were half my age, if I were in my 20s, I would probably be taking this a lot harder. I would probably be drunk 24/7 and doing whatever and just not behaving in my highest self. But being almost 50 years old, I understand what they're doing, why they're doing it. And I'm not going to let them win, and I'm not going to let them pull me out of my highest self, and I'm going to do the best damn work I can while I'm free, if it's even a question if I'm not going to be free. The anxiety that I have is if I get locked up, I will not be able to be a parent anymore. Like, that part of my life will be over, and that, the idea of that really kills me, because my daughter is everything. And she deserves to have a mom, and she deserves for me to be free and to be there for her and to give her guidance and strength and love and all the things that a mom is supposed to give. But I can't do that if I'm behind bars.
I have to ask, are you a terrorist?
I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am a mother, I am a friend, I am a comrade, I'm a coworker, I'm a writer, I'm a designer, I'm, you know, a digital native. I hug trees every day. I mean, I pet all the dogs. I believe in people. If I qualify as a terrorist, I don't think anybody qualifies as a terrorist. I don't think that term is real. If this, you know, because I watched the buildings come down from my rooftop on 9/11. Like, to me, if you use the word terrorism, that's what that is, right? Thousands of people dying at once, bombing an entire country. That's terrorism. Wearing black in a forest is not terrorism. It's not even close.
Is mutual aid a conspiracy?
Mutual aid is not a conspiracy. Mutual aid are people doing what humans have always done, and which is how we've been able to evolve over hundreds of thousands of years.
You're saying taking care of someone is natural.
It's natural. That's what we're designed to do, to care for each other.